Vegas lights shine bright, bad boys sitting pretty. Michael, Steve, Rob running things in Sin City. Podcast blazing truth, rhyming hard and witty. Three kings on the mic, Vegas life gets gritty. Matt Michaels dropping bombs, quick wit, no filter. Sin City's own, blending gold with the silver. Steve taking notes, every word's a thriller. Rob's on the tracks, beats cold like a chiller. Bad Boys a podcast, raw truth they broadcast. Speaking facts so fast, haters coming dead last. Las Vegas legends, three amigos top class. Mic in hand, setting fire, never outclassed.
Hey everybody, it's Matt Michaels and Rob Bossoleri here on the Vegas Bad Boys of Podcasting, and today we are joined by a very amazing and special guest, someone who has had a wonderful career herself in the adult entertainment world, and that's Tylee Texas, who also, probably not to a lot of people's knowledge, was Sabu's girlfriend, right here until the sad passing of Sabu recently.
We're living together.
Yeah, living together. Okay, so how, first off, were you aware of who Sabu was before you met him?
Kind of, not really. I made jokes about him. I was like, do you have a twin brother? I was like, show me some wrestling moves. Like,
No.
I met him at the Dream Factory, and then my friend Jason was like, yo, that's Sabu. And I was like, oh, that's Teddy's friend. I was like, sign my tits. And he was like, no, I'm married. And then he apologized later. He apologized and was like, I'm sorry, I was shy.
Well, he was one of the shyest guys that I ever met. And for someone who had such a big persona, was he as shy when you started to get to know him? Was it,
No, he was very open.
And when you think about when you first met him, did you look at Sabu as someone that you were like, you know what, this guy would be an interesting boyfriend? I mean, this would be someone that, because I mean, would he be typically someone that you would have dated?
I mean, no, I just he put the work in, he just was different. He didn't hit on me for months, but afterwards it was just
yeah. And Rob, I mean, you got to meet Tylee and Sabu. How did you bump into them?
So I went to WrestleMania with a few friends, and then we went to the Monday Night Raw. So it was a comic named Adam Dominguez. We had a few other guys, a guy named Chris Waldeck, Jason Lack. And afterwards, Adam's like, yo, we need to go to midget wrestling at the Nerd. Willie Mack's going to be running the door. I said, wait a minute. So you're telling me at the Nerd Bar there's going to be midget wrestling, Willie Mack is running the door? He goes, yes. That doesn't make sense. He goes, I'm telling you, dude, that's what's going to be there. All right, fine. I go there, and he goes, hey, Rob, Sabu is here. And I said, where's Sabu? Now you're just fucking with me. Sure enough, Willie Mack was in the corner, by the way, playing video games. He goes, look at the Game of Thrones chair. And I turn around, and there's Sabu with Tylee Texas. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? All my worlds are colliding. Oh, Jesus Christ, what is happening? And then for a couple of weeks, everywhere I went, there they were. So we have a show called The Spotlight at Ola Abibi in the Arts District, hosted by Lex Las Vegas.
Habibi.
And I walk in, and I'm thinking, all right, that was a one-off. That was just a one-off. And then there's this big, massive wicker chair there. And there's Sabu again. And she's on his lap again. And a minute later, I've got a beer in my hand, and I'm having a conversation with him. I'm like, the
That
fuck?
is true.
That is what the fuck's happening. But then, like, as you
He
all,
was like, "Do you know this guy?" And I'm like, "Yeah, he's my friend." He was like, "Have you fucked him?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Okay, he's cool."
now I'm afraid to. Like, some Final Destination shit will happen. I stared at a titsert a couple of times, Terry. I'm sorry. He was talking to me, and I got like sidetracked because
You pissed him off because you were talking about another wrestler, so he got mad.
yeah.
He was like, "I don't want to hear about no other dudes. Like, I'm trying to get some pussy."
and so then they're like, they're about to start the show. I announced the host. I get the show started, and he goes, "Well," and I go, "Well, what?" Like, and then now, like, I'm in my own universe again. And then I'm looking, and there's a pissed off Sabu staring me right in the face. He goes, "What'd you think?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, it was a great fucking match. It was the greatest. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. I gotta start the show, but honor. I shit you not, it's an honor. Hey, this is. I'm an ass. Just whatever. I gotta start the show." Like, shooting up his head. I'm like, oh god.
If it's a friend of yours, it's a friend of mine. But
He was a good dude. He was a good dude all the way around.
Yeah, no, he was absolutely. He's one of my favorite people to talk to and run into. And now, did you? I mean, he had his last match here with Joey Janela. Were you at the match? Did you get to see him actually wrestle?
yeah.
What were your thoughts about that style of wrestling? Because it's one thing to hear stories, right? But to see that up close on someone that you
He was just saying, "Oh, maybe I'm just gonna quit, but I want to take care of you and show you that I'm a strong man." And he was like, "I gotta do it." And then he was like, "Oh no, I can't. No, I can't. I don't think I'm ready. I don't think I'm prepared. Like, I should have trained more, but I want to provide for you and the kids, and so I'm gonna do it."
you know, and again,
He was
you
like,
know,
"Maybe I can just tell him I got hit by a car, but fuck, I need that money."
well, I mean, you know, you mentioned the kids. You know, the idea of Sabu as you know, Mr. Nanny and having fun with kids. I mean, how was it with him and the kids when we think of him as this hardcore legend, and you got two youngsters?
Yeah, we're thinking of the guy who's like got slashes all over his body from barbed wire matches. And
the school was like a block away, so he would walk the kids to school every day, and then like
wow.
he would tell me, "Baby, get rest. Like, I got you. Like, and like just chill." And then he would just like take the kids, and then my Jesslyn, my daughter, was like, "You're embarrassing me." And then my son was like, "Jesslyn, he's famous, and all my friends' dads want to get his autograph, so shut up."
Yeah, right.
And then he was like, "Jesslyn's tougher than Remington because she takes all the bumps from him."
That's amazing.
No, a couple of guys gave me cards because they seen him walking the kids to school, and they're like, "I'm sorry, like, I looked up to him," and I'm like, "What?" Because this guy wrote, it was very special for me to see you with your shirt flapping open and your scars for all the wrestling fans. And then out of all the places, I met you at my son's school. And that was very special to me.
And people don't realize that is Sabu's shirt.
Yeah. Which is a very famous shirt that Sabu had, you know.
Yeah, I know, this is surreal. I'm like ironing the shirt. Like this is it's like ironing the shirt. It was a little wrinkled.
He's like, "Get dressed, baby."
You know, when you think about, you know, all the things you've done in your life, all the relationships you've had, you know, you kind of never expect to run into someone who is on a different level. Sabu was on a different level because he was an introverted celebrity.
Wake up every
Did you?
morning, he would say, "Baby, are you hungry? Like, how can I make your day better? How can I make you happy? What can I do for you?" And I was like, "What? I never met a dude like this before."
Right. I mean, is that not, was that not something else to,
And
to experience that?
whenever we were getting groceries, I would try to grab him, and he would slap my hand, and he was like, "I got it, baby, I got you." Like, and I'm like, "What?" Like, he would run to open the door, like he would like be like, "Stop, I got it."
But that, and that shows, again, probably, through the
I was
culture and
like,
how he was raised.
"Damn."
Yeah, it's amazing. When you think about the time that you guys, shared together, what's one thing that sticks out to you that you go, man, that was a night that I'll just never forget? Is there a moment that you go, man, that was just something special?
Probably New Year's when we watched the fireworks, and it was just like he took me all these different places, and just like that was the first night, and I wasn't expecting. I didn't even think he had a crush on me. I thought it was just like, oh, a friend, whatever. Like, but then like he started kissing me, and I was like, okay.
Happy New Year's. And then you got to see the balls drop.
Well, I mean, but that must have been, something else, to when you don't even know that someone has that interest. It's just crazy, to think about that. Here it is, and fireworks, Las Vegas, and a makeout session with Sabu. It's like that actually was Rob's fantasy.
I wanted a night with the hardcore legend. I wanted to see how hardcore he really was.
Yeah. When
That's
he did
just
my ankles went away, I was like, okay.
That's a Vegas bad boy. That's a Vegas bad boy. That is the definition.
Like, maybe I can work with this.
When you think about, when you think about conversations you had with him, is there anything that he ever said to you that just kind of sticks? Because we always kind of think back to conversations after we've
He said,
lost.
I'm going to show you respect, even if nobody else does. I'm going to show you, like, they should respect you, and you got to respect yourself, and I'm going to show you what it is to me to be respected. And like, it's just like, if my tits were hanging out, he'd be like, come on. He's like, baby, like he's like, you're trying to get somebody knocked out.
Well,
would you want to have kids with him? No, that's a
sensitive subject. But...
I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah, it's tough when you lose someone.
By him, and he was like, I'm too old to be a dad. And then he was like, I was kind of happy. I was kind of excited. I was joking when I told you to get rid of it. I didn't think you really would.
Yeah.
But he was like, if I had a kid, I would have wanted to be there. But he said, I never been a stepdad before, but fuck, I love these fucking brats. He was like, they're little hellraisers, but I fucking love them. And he's like, the girl's worse than the boy, but Remy respects me, but Jesselyn gives me a hard time. But
what was your favorite thing about him?
his dick.
Well,
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Sorry, no. It's fine.
It's totally, you can say whatever you want. It's all right.
Yeah.
No, you know what I really loved? It's like, because every time I called him, like, he always answered. Like, he never played games. He wasn't like, oh, let me, like, do this, let me do that. Like, he was straight up, like,
Yeah.
fuck you, bitch, or hey, what's up? Like, it was never no in-betweens. It was just, like, what I loved is, like, I never seen anybody, like, you know, do everything, like, just, like, be like, hey, I got this, I got that. It's like, he just took care of everything. He was like, whatever you need, baby, I got you. And I was like, I dealt with a lot of dudes, and I just never seen that before. Just somebody that just handled shit. Like, he just was like, oh, the kids, whatever, bills, whatever, like, making love to you, I got all of it.
Yeah. You know, I mean, that's a great, you know, observation too. You know, for you being in the adult entertainment industry, you know, there's a lot of times where, you know, especially with fans and just the way things can be, there isn't a lot of respect shown to have someone in your life who's
He was
giving
like,
you,
you can still fuck somebody and, like, show them respect at the same time. He was like, it's different. Like, you gotta show love. Like, he was like, some of these dudes are just fucking real ass disrespectful. Like, this dude was like flicking paper balls at me, like winking at me, and he slapped the shit out of him. I was like, bro, like, it's different if it's like separate. Like, you know, like, I respect her career. Like, that's what really got me, because, like, he was like, I'm not gonna change you. Like, and we were doing pictures and videos together. Like, we did the 2257. He was like, I'm down with you, baby, whatever makes you happy. And, like, he was like, let's shoot porn. And he was like, you know, I don't care if you shoot scenes, but, like, when dudes do it in front of my face, that's a different story. Like, I understand that you have to work. And I was like, what the fuck? I thought you were old school. I thought you'd be jealous as fuck. And he was like, no, I would never want to change you. And I respect that you have a career. And he was like, I want to do it with you. I'm getting old. Like, after this shit, like, fucking release it. Like, I don't give a fuck.
You do a wrestling oriented thing, put her in
He was
gear.
like, let's just do videos and pictures on your OnlyFans. I was like, okay, let's do it.
well, you know, but that also is something, being a, you know, again, being a performer himself, and, you know, anyone who
No,
knows.
when I talked to Rob, then Rob told me, he was like, he was literally just trying to do everything to make you happy. The fact that he was wanting to do pictures and videos, whatever, like, he was literally just trying to make you happy. And that actually means a lot to me.
Rob Van Dam.
And he was like, you got him off the drugs. You got him, like, you know, doing normal shit. And the fact that he was, like, you know, willing to reach out of his old school shit. And, like, he was like, that's actually kind of pretty cool.
Yeah, considering, you know, Rob knew him for over 30 years, and, you know, that's a amazing compliment from someone who knew him better than probably anyone else on this planet. So
I just called him whenever the ambulance was coming, and I was just like, oh my God, help. And he's been helping me through it, like, talking to me. And he's like, you know, you got to be strong for the kids. I know you loved him, but this isn't, he would want you to be strong. And he was like, you know, we all try to save him, whatever it is. Like, maybe it was just his time.
How many friends did you make in the wrestling community through Sabu? Like, how many wrestling friends did you meet through Sabu? Or is it mostly just Rob?
Facade. Willie Mack, I don't know. Santana, like Michael Jackson.
yeah, all the guys at the nerd bar.
I haven't met MJ yet. I want to meet him.
Oh, don't worry, we'll get Santana and you together. You got it, brother.
No.
Yeah, but I do have some kittens that Sabu helped give birth to. Like, the placenta was dangling, and I was like, ah! I was screaming. I was like, what do I do? And he's like, calm down, baby. I got this.
Yeah, so she has you have a whole litter of kittens right now.
Yeah, two
Oh.
twin sisters.
Oh
No.
man.
Orange cats, orange girl cats, and the dad is a black Maine Coon.
Oh wow. Oh.
But Willie Mack said he was gonna get a kitten. He was like, I'm getting one of those kittens.
I want one. I really want one.
But I was freaking out, and he was like, I got this. He was delivering the kittens, and I'm like, I woke up on it was 4/20, like April 20th. And like I was sleeping, and like the cats were meowing, meow, meow, meow. And then my daughter's like, wake up, the cat's giving babies. And I was like, Sabu, fix it. I'm like, what's going on? And she literally had babies under my head, and like he was like down there, and he was like, oh my God, I think she needs help. Like, I gotta help her.
And then of course wrestling fans get this image of Sabu like just pulling out barbed wire and just cutting the placenta that way.
Oh Jesus.
Oh
my God.
Here's
he
a
had
question.
some sticks with barbed wire wrapped around him with caution, like all over his bedroom.
So did you ever get to Deer is asking, did you ever get to go backstage with Sabu at any of his matches?
The last match, I was there, and somebody robbed him.
Somebody robbed him?
And like when we were walking out, somebody ripped off half of his suit.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
What happened after that? Did he go after him or?
No. But no, it's back there, and it was after his last match, and he's like, baby, I'm hurting, but I'm okay. He's kissing me. He's like, I'll eat that later.
Well, I mean, at least he was in good spirits after.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had something to look forward to. He didn't care.
And he just ripped off his armband and was like, keep this, it might be special someday. And I was like, why? And he was like, there is no why, it's just because.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, like as a wrestling fan, we never get to see what a lot of these people's personalities are really like. And this is the most descriptive. Like I could never imagine if you told me this is what Sabu was like. I had a very basic idea of just a guy with the turban, hardcore legend. And the Sabu that you got to know was a tender, loving person who got a chance to be a parent and helped you, in so many wonderful ways. And seemed just like an amazing guy.
Yeah, I've never been with anybody like that. Like it was just like, he just did everything. I was like, wash my hair, like just open the door, and was just like, I got you, like I'm taking care of you, like I'm gonna show you what a real man's like.
Well, we're gonna be sharing this to all the socials. Anything that you want, share it too, so the world can get to really understand. Forget like dark side of the ring world. This is light side of the ring, happy side of the ring,
Right.
where we get to actually have a happy story about a legend, and we're so happy to have you here.
I think if I had a final question here, and I think this is something that we all kind of think about after someone that we love passes, and the question would be, if there's one thing that you could tell Sabu, what would it be?
Get inside me.
There you go.
Usually I bring the comedy. She's been killing it tonight.
Yeah, Rob, I think we found a replacement for you.
No, Jesus.
No, I would just say like, what the fuck? Like, and like when my son would be crying, he would always be like, brother, and like Remy would grab his eyes and he'd be like this, like, and he'd be like, are you a sissy or not? And he's like, no. He's like, wipe those tears away.
I love this. I love this. Like it's
He's like, "Are you a man? Or are you a woman?" He's like, "I'm a man." He's like, "Okay," and then you grab his arm and be like,
cutting promos with the sun. Like
and he's like, he would always tell me that his uncle would say, "There is no why, it's just because."
I like that.
And before, it's like my daughter was saying spirits was around him, and he was just like, Jesslyn said, "Oh, your dad's here," and he was like, "I hate that motherfucker. I can't stand him." And he was like, she was like, "He just wants to tell you he's proud of you because you got my mom. She has nice boobs." And he was like, "Fuck that. That's my uncle. He's a hound dog." And she said his mother was there, and he goes, "Okay, I don't know if she's fucking with me or if this is real, but he was like, Jesslyn, what's my favorite dessert?" And she said, "Baklava." And he goes, "Holy shit, how would she even know that?" And he was like, "What's my dog's name?" And she said, "Wham." And he was like, "It's Wham." And he was like, "What the fuck?" And then she said, "Your mother's with your favorite sister, and your wife Melissa's here. She's jealous, but she's happy that my mom's taking care of you."
Oh my God. Wow.
And I feel like I should have known because she was saying that spirits were around. And I was like, I thought it was all like, whatever. And I was like, and he was like, "No, I think she's legit because how would she know that shit?" And I was like, "I don't know," but I just was like blowing it off. I didn't think it was serious.
Yeah, I mean that's incredible. You know, first off, what an incredible daughter you have, because that's like kids who can see things like that and then communicate like that. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
She said that Sabu keeps trying to hug me, but he's going through me and he's getting mad that he keeps going through me.
Well, it's one way to be inside you.
I got a feeling that if you just focus hard enough, you're going to be able to do the pottery scene from Ghost with him.
I'm just picturing the turban, you know.
Oh, hopefully the turban doesn't get stuck in the spinning
wheel. Yeah.
Yeah.
If that shirt starts moving on its own, we'll know something's up.
Yeah. He picked up these red pants and he was like, "Oh, these are from like 10 years ago. You don't know how old these are." Like, and he was like, "But I would never wear red pants. I want to wear white because I want them to see the blood." He was like, "That's why I'm wearing white, so they see the blood." Yep. He's like, "Whenever you do a match, you always have to wear white if you're doing hardcore because you got to see the blood."
What was your favorite match of his? Did you have a match of his that you liked?
No.
What was it like after that match, his last match? How did he feel?
He was messaging Teddy that he wanted to do a match with him. But he showed me the John Cena because my kids were like, "Oh, I love John Cena. You can't see me." He was like, "I beat him up."
Yeah, and that match is getting a lot of attention now too, since Sabu has passed.
But he was messaging Teddy, and he was like, "I want to fight you. I want to do a match with you."
Which would have been interesting to see, you know, Teddy Hart fight Sabu one last time. Yeah.
Steve Dottie's.
Oh shit.
You know,
they were messaging, and he was like, "In 6 months, yeah, I'll come to Canada. You come here." And he was like, they were talking about it, and that's why I just don't understand. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, I think that's what we all felt. What the fuck? Like,
he wasn't doing drugs. He like quit everything. Like, he was just like, that's why he was doing the kratom, because he was just like, "I'm done with drugs. I just gotta be there for you." And
how was he preparing leading up to the match?
Well, of course, I was trying to fuck him. And he was like, he was just like going to the gym, protein shake, eating lots of eggs. And then like I was trying to suck him, and he's like, you know, after I'm gonna break that down.
Whole new meaning to protein shake.
Yeah.
After, yeah, it was way better. After he put it down, like it was great. Like, I was like,
All of the wrestling fans out there are jealous that you got to fuck him, and all of the porn star fans are jealous that he got to fuck you.
But no, like I was trying to fuck him before, and I tried really hard. And he was all fucked up, and I was like, come on. He's like, I'm nervous, baby. But then he let all those nerves out later.
Well, I guess we found out the new word for it is nerves. So
Yeah.
next time you release Rob, remember, you're just letting your nerves go.
Yeah. Oh man. How many 3 counts that night?
Like, let me suck on your balls.
That's 1, 2, 3. There we go. There we go.
But no, like he was really stressed out. He didn't want to do it, but he kept saying, I'm gonna quit. I'm not gonna do it. I don't think I'm ready. I didn't train hard enough. And he was like, I didn't train. He's like, I gotta do it for you and the kids. I gotta be strong. And he was like, I'm doing this last match. I'm gonna show you I can do it. And I was like he was like, oh, maybe I'll just give up. And then he like kissed me on the forehead, and he was like, I'm gonna do it for you. I'm gonna go through.
Yeah. Do you want to know if Sabu ever played his theme song while you guys were doing it?
He always put rock music on. I'm like, this reminds me of my dad. Can you stop? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, why are you playing this kind of music? Like he was like, I'm jamming. And I was like, I can't jam to that. And he was like, why you gotta listen to that lesbian rap shit? He was like, because I put on Megan Thee Stallion, and he was like, that's lesbian rap shit. And then he would play like the rock songs, and
do you remember what he played? Any of the do you remember any of the bands?
It's like rock. It's like I'm like you put on, I'm like, stop. Like you're reminding me of my dad. And he was like, well, I guess your dad had good taste.
You're banging to your dad's music.
I was like, no, but he would always say, like, we have to get some sun. Like, he would wake up in the morning. He's like, let's go out and tan and go to the gym and drink a protein shake and massage me and eat me.
That was the other protein. That was the second meal. First meal was a protein shake. You were lunch.
Dessert.
Cherry's Jubilee.
I mean, that's the best way to start a morning. You know, well, we all know that, right? A little sun, a little workout, a little pussy eating. I mean, you can't go wrong, right? It's pretty much the menu I see.
Yeah, we went to Chris Jericho's show, the Rock
the
show.
Posy show, right?
We were dancing all over each other and stuff. I was like, whoa, I thought that he sucked. He's actually pretty good.
He could dance?
No.
Jericho.
Chris Jericho. I thought he couldn't sing. So I was like,
no, he's got it good, boys.
I was like, what? I was like, and he was like, yeah, whatever. But I was like, this is actually pretty right. But we jammed out and we were dancing, hanging out, having drinks, chilling. Like, we went to a show and yeah, it was fun, but that's the kind of music you like.
Well, thank you, Bionic Scoop, for coming in. You were tuned into the Vegas Bad Boys of Podcasting, and we are talking about Sabu. We are here today with
Tylee, Texas.
And you had the honor of being like Sabu's main girl. You got to know things about him, and you got to see a side of Sabu that none of us ever got to see. So she's got some great stories that she's sharing with us tonight.
You know, you mentioned Chris. You mentioned the Jericho concert, and Chris just recently said, in typical Sabu fashion, Sabu messaged Chris and said, "Hey, are you playing tonight?" Chris said yes. Then Sabu and you showed up. You went to the concert, and then later on, someone told Chris, "Hey, did you see Sabu? He was here." And Chris was like, "No." So Sabu was that kind of person where he'd want to go support a friend, go see him and stuff, but he didn't need that extra attention. Like, look at me, I'm here.
Somebody grabbed my tits, and that's why he's like, "Let's get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna beat this motherfucker up."
That's why. So
no, this guy grabbed me, and he was
My
like, "Oh
God.
shit!" He's like, "I'm gonna fuck this dude up. Like, let's go."
I always have this show running in simulcast so I can chat on the Facebook side, and I just leave seeing in the closed caption, "Somebody grabbed my tits." This is
Yeah, and he was like, "We gotta go. I'm gonna fuck this motherfucker up. Sorry, baby."
so I'll have to relay that to Jericho. That the reason that that Sabu didn't see him that night was because he was avoiding getting into a fight and getting arrested. So that's actually great
I didn't
knowledge.
care if he got arrested, but he was like,
He would have
he's like,
killed. He
"I'm
would
about
have
to do
killed
the
that.
uppercut."
I would have paid. I would have paid to see that. That would have been the greatest gif ever. That would have been like
Yeah, when we went to the comedy show, people would be like, "Throw me through the table," and Lex is like, "He's throwing her through the table."
yeah, dude. Lex runs around and he's got like 90 things to do, and I'm just thinking about the start, and we're all distracted because we keep going like, "It's Tylee Texas. All right, we got shit to do. But
yeah, we went to Champs, the convention, and he was like, "Tylee, what are you doing, Sabu?" I'm like, "Chilling."
you know what the cool thing about him was, though? At a lot of these shows, especially with comedians, entertainers are dicks, and we have no patience. So when we're on stage, we want everyone to be seated and watching us. But once we're done, we get off. Sabu stayed and watched every single person for the most part that I can remember. He stayed and watched everybody. He was chilling with her, but he was watching all of us and was a
He's
great
like,
member.
No, this is what he said. He's like, "If these are your friends, I'm here to support them. If they watch your back, then I'm here for you. Like, if this is what you enjoy, like if this is your people, then I'm here with you. I would rather be with you than anywhere else in the world. Like, as long as I'm with you, then I'm happy."
My word, get me off.
He was like, "I'm happy."
That's good. That's good.
He was like, "Wherever you're at, like, if it makes you happy, then I'm gonna support you." And he was like, "I tried to leave." I was like, "I'm leaving." He was like, "Isn't Lex your boy?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Then why are you supporting him? Like, we're here. Like, let's do it. Let's support your boy."
That's the big thing. Like I was saying, a lot of us will go up. We might stay like a few people after we go up.
Yeah.
He stayed for the bulk of it. And I was like, damn, that's respect. That is respect. How long did you and him, how long were you together?
8 months.
8 months.
Wow.
That's incredible. And it was like surreal. It was the worlds colliding because once in a while you'll see, oh, this is a person from, this, scene, the porn scene, the comedy scene, the wrestling scene. You collided them all at once.
But he would babysit the kids. He's like, "Baby, I got you. Like, do what you have to, but come home. I'm worried about you."
This was nobody, you know what the fucked up thing is in this industry? Nobody really does shows like that where they talk about the positives of a person. We always focus on all the negative things that happen in a wrestler's career. So I'm really glad. This is why I wanted you here, because you know so many wonderful things about this guy that nobody else knew. And, it's on Sabu. You got to show us Terry tonight.
Yeah. And the other things.
My daughter was like, Terry. He's like, "Don't call me that." And she's like, "That's your name." And he's like, "Call me stepdad."
Stepdad Sabu.
It makes the character way less like intimidating. Like, "Come into the ring, stepdad."
It's like this is turning into Mrs. Doubtfire.
Right. But you know what? You just made a great point, Rob, and that is the negative stuff. And one of the things that you said, Tylee, that I think is so important is that everyone has been focused on, what could have been, what, this and that and whatever. The big thing you said is that Sabu had cleaned up, and
Doing drugs. No.
yeah,
No, I
and
told him if you stay with me, then you got a drug test. And I was drug testing him. I was like, yo, I can't be I don't even understand why people do drugs. I'm like, what? Where do you even get that shit? Like, gross. Like, I smoke weed and drink, yeah. But the other shit,
yeah,
no. I was like, you can't be doing nothing like coke, none of that shit. And he was like, okay. Like, he was pissing on that shit. He was like, yeah, I'm with you. Like, he wasn't doing drugs.
yeah,
Kratom, that's a natural tea.
yep,
Like, I lived in Florida before. I was like, that's fine. Like, you can do that shit. But all the other shit, no. He was done. Like, he was like, when Melissa died, like, it really hurt me. And so I got harder on the drugs. But when you
yeah,
came around, I didn't know that love still existed. And you showed me that love is real.
yeah,
And that I needed to change. I needed to stop doing that shit. And he was like, I'll lay off the coke. I'll lay off all that shit. He
yeah.
just told me, I'm done with it. Like, I don't want to bother. And I said, okay. And he was like, believe in me. And I said, I do. And he was like, baby, I got you. Whatever. Bills, like, I ain't gonna be fucking around no more.
Yeah, yeah, and that's something, everyone wants to say. Kratom was a word that came up so much, and the fact of the matter is that I'm glad RVD came out. Rob talked about it on his show just a couple days ago, and Kratom wasn't a factor. And Sabu was clean,
Right
and
up with Kava, like, he wasn't even drinking alcohol.
That
yeah,
that was the weird thing. Like when that came up and it was brought up that that's what he was doing, people that I knew who had done a lot of drugs said that's nothing. What the fuck? Like, oh, he did this, and they were like, and it's going to get you it's going to take you down from the high, if anything. So
yeah,
it was odd that was like they thought that was a smoking gun.
yeah,
The person who put that out there, and everyone else was like, that's not a smoking gun. You can get that at the fucking at the cigarette shop, or they sell you the pre-rolls or the freaking paper. Like, what the hell?
yeah. And that's again, the focusing on the negative. Just people want to do all this negativity stuff, and the honest answer, too, when it comes to wrestling, people who wanted to blame GCW and the last match and etc. This was a grown-ass man who,
He did the last match for me because he was
yeah,
trying to take care of me. He wanted the money.
yep,
That's the truth. There's
yep,
text messages, like, there's proof. Like, he just wanted to be the man that he was like, I got you. Like,
How many out of the wrestlers in Las Vegas? You had mentioned Rob Van Dam and Willie Mack. Did anybody else reach out to you in support?
Facade.
yeah.
Facade, yeah, you did mention Facade.
I told him, yeah, I'll give you an outfit.
Have you talked to Johnny at the Nerd Bar since Sabu passed?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man,
He wanted to come pick up his stuff. I'm like, are you gonna wipe the blood off the walls?
Yeah.
Fix my doors?
Hey, by the way, I need you to do this now. I need you
I
to
was
send
like,
some of your
"Change
wrestlers over here.
No. I just asked him if he wanted kittens.
People in my family are allergic. I would take one of those orange cats right now.
But yeah. He was like, I don't know.
If you could do something to like honor him or leave a message for people, what do you think was, besides his dick? You said that, but like if there's a message that you think, one word to describe him, I guess that's what I'm saying. What was the one word you would use to describe him?
He would say, Sabu never speaks, but you make me speak. He would tell me that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, he was what I imagined when I first met him. It's like, this is exactly and Willie Mack, by the way, because I caught Willie Mack in the middle of a video game. He was like, what? I'm like, I'm a big fan. Oh, yeah, whatever. He was cool, but I caught him in the middle, but he took a selfie. But Sabu was quiet, and that's what I expected. That's why it also freaked me out when I was in my own little zone.
The most freaky ass dudes are always fucking quiet. Like the nerds, like they be doing the most. Like and like, let's go.
Well, I mean, that's definitely true because, those of us who are silent spend a lot of time in our heads, and we've got a lot of different thoughts going on. So,
I just never been treated like a real woman, and he did that. Like, he was like, you are a woman. Like, I'm gonna make you step in your feminine energy and like show you how it is to be a real boss. Like,
and now I'm going to turn on your dad's type of music while we have
You are a lady, but we're begging to your daddy's music now.
yeah, but he just,
you better like Leonard Skinner.
He just was like, you're the best. Like,
Well, I think one of the things that we can all take from just what you've been saying is the fact that
he texts me at 2 a.m. Are you okay? And like, why are you asking me if I'm okay when you're the one that needs to be okay? Like, he was like, but even after, like, he was worried about me before he's worried about himself, and that's what fucking sucks.
But that's the thing that we can all take from this is that, the fact of the matter is that
he was a fighter for his lovers.
Yeah, he was a true gentleman and someone who, learned early on in his life how to treat people, and we saw how much he cared about Melissa. I knew.
He told me that he turned to drugs instead of women. That he was like, don't be mad at me. Like, at least I'm not fucking bitches. I was like, I would rather you fuck bitches and bring me along.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Perfect girlfriend. Like, hello. Don't do drugs. Do me.
And bitches.
And bitches.
I was going along for the ride.
This is, oh my God.
I think we just found a new T-shirt.
Don't do drugs, do bitches.
Bitches and me.
My wife wasn't pissed because I wasn't cheating on her. I was doing drugs instead of women. And I said, just do the women. And I don't care.
This is a very wise woman right here.
Bring me along later. It's like, I'd rather you do the women instead of drugs.
Yeah.
This is words to live by. Don't do drugs. Do bitches. And me.
Real friends suck cock together.
Well, Rob, I don't know if we're really friends.
Oh, man. Wow. I didn't know we were taking the relationship to that level. Damn.
I don't know.
Wait a minute. You got John Cena at the end of this. So what did you have to do to get John Cena on to cut that promo at the end for us? I don't know.
Can't see him.
Did you join his C Nation?
He just always told me that he loved me so much.
Yeah.
I love you so much.
Yeah. And you know what? And that's the most important thing is that you had that time and that love. And, for all the wrestling fans out there who loved him and the love that he gave them by performing, you got the most important type of love, and that was from his heart, and that's just amazing.
Yeah, people
I
would
know he keeps.
kill for that little bit of time that you got to spend with him, the intimate time, and really get to know him.
I know there's banging in the house, and they're like, "Oh, that's Sabu." They're like, "Don't bring a guy over."
Yeah. I'm not even gonna hug you when I get out of the car. I'm just gonna wave to you. I don't want like my tires are gonna explode or some shit.
Well, I think that we're winding it.
I never met a man that just gave everything, like money, heart, soul, everything, dick, like all the above. Like,
Don't forget the dick.
I know everything. I'm saying like everything. And I was like, what the fuck? Why?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's, there's the rare people in this world that are like that, and for whatever reason, that's something cosmic brought him into your life.
He wanted me to feel special.
I think he did it. You agree?
He just wanted me to believe that I was happy.
Well, I think he
wanted me to see how special I was, but I just wanted to be special with him.
Well, you had a rare opportunity to have somebody impact your life like that. And he's going to want you to take all of those memories and everything he taught you and live with that, Take all of that stuff, teach that to your kids, and take those messages and spread them out to everybody you meet.
Cocks yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, the one thing you got to remember is you are special, and don't ever forget that, because that's something that he showed you, and you've got to carry that throughout your life, that you are special and you are worth something. And
everybody that I meet in this scene, in the entertainment scene, there are certain people that come along that have an energy, and you are one of those people. And he saw that, and he is one of the most.
He just loved me so much.
Yeah.
I don't know how I could get somebody like that again.
You're going to have to do one thing and be just as picky as he was, because we all knew of him with Jeannie, Melissa. That's how every person thinks of Sabu. So when she was gone, I thought to myself, there was no way I could ever imagine him with somebody else. Yeah. And you clearly were not a fling or a one-night stand. You showed us that you had an energy that matched Melissa's, which is a big deal. And he's going to be with you. His spirit's going to be with you, and he's going to want you to carry on and take everything that he is and bring that forward for other people to experience. Yeah. You're Sabu now.
Yeah.
You now have a piece of Sabu, and whoever meets her, treat her well, because Sabu's soul and energy is with her. So do not fucking take her for granted, because he will kick the shit out of you from beyond. All right.
And if he doesn't, I'm sure he'll let Rob know, and Van Damme will stick up for you. So,
Yeah, Van Damme's got to just work out some kinks. So he'll be back doing spinning heel kicks.
His wife's mercy. Yeah. Katie.
Well, Katie Forbes, because she could do some hip attacks and kicks right now So
she's the one holding him. She's holding Rob.
No, but you've got a network of people who, you got to remember, there's a lot of people who care about you now,
I
because
just love him so much.
You just inherited the entire wrestling community of all of the people that grew up with him, who were raised by him, and who helped him out too. And now those friends are your friends.
But he used to always say, nobody would care about me unless I'm dead.
Well, that wasn't true, obviously.
true, yeah.
That was not true.
Nobody cared about him. Like, he tried. Like, he reached out to friends. Like, nobody cared about him. But now they want to pretend like they are. No.
Well, we want to focus about the positives. And honestly, there are people in entertainment. You know this. We know this. There are people in comedy that have screwed me over, and then
Fake ass motherfuckers.
Yep, and then but they'll show up when you least expect it and help out. You know, it happens. It happens.
Taz.
See, now she's name dropping over here. She's name dropping over here.
He's screaming.
All right, let's do one final thought. Tylee, if there's anything that you want to say, this is the chance to just say it out there and give a final thought before we wrap it up and say goodnight.
He was not a druggie. He took care of my kids, and he was legit and a real gangster. Like,
Real gangster.
He handled shit, and everything was legit, like cool. Like, I just think that maybe it was just time.
Yeah.
You want to give one?
I think that he wanted to stay, but he didn't have a choice because the spirits came around. I think that he really did put in work to be a good person.
And a lot of that came from you. It sounds like he made a whole lot of changes just to be with you, and also to make sure he was fucking you good. She's smiling. She's smiling. She is smiling. I said that she is smiling.
Well, there we go.
She got to go on the other space mountain.
I put that ass. I was like, hey.
Took her to Space Mountain like a gentleman.
Well, there you go. Tylee, thank you so much for joining us. Again, it's been a whirlwind, and I know that the time you spent with us and the memories you shared just mean the world to us. But I know
when I came in, I was like pushing as hard. Like, I tried.
Yeah, and you did everything you could, and now, he's an angel looking over you. So, and an angel with a barbed wire chair. So that's a good one to have.
So again,
so any next dude, like,
you gotta be a gentleman, and you gotta be able to take barbed wire. But the gentleman part first.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. And we again thank you very much, Tylee, for your time. And all right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Did any of you have a great time tonight? Yeah. With that, everybody, thank you for hanging out. We'll do it all again next week. Till then, happy wrestling.
Rolling up the strip under neon lights. Podcast mic is glowing in the desert nights. Matt and Michael's leading with the swagger tight. Sin City Steve right by your side. Alright. Rob Larry dropping truths, no fear. Broadcasting stories, make it loud and clear. From the Fremont edges to the Bellagio sphere. These bad boys rule, let me make that clear. Vegas bad the scene.
To Matt Michaels and the Vegas Boys of Podcasting, this is John Cena saying thank you so much